What's up, YouTube? I am Z-Tone Train, and this is just a basic dude vlog. This might not be as good as our old front porch setup back in the day, but it's gonna have to do for right now. So what we're gonna do today is actually test and use a product that we've opened recently on the channel. And that product is the Gordon 2.9-inch pocket knife. There's the nice belt clip. Comes in the pretty decent steel, and it is only $10 at Harbor Freight. And it is a pretty nice looking knife. I've carried it off and on for a week. And honestly, I did not want to do this video with this knife. I kind of don't want it to fail me because I like it. Now, is it my everyday carry? No, that still goes to my Buck 736. And this thing is just taking a complete whooping. And it's just been an awesome knife so far for not a super expensive knife. More expensive than this by more than twice. But it's not a super expensive knife. But I put together sort of a small battery of completely arbitrary stupid tests today so that we can actually look at the Gordon knife and see what we think of it. And I wonder if it breaks during the battery of tests, if Harbor Freight would give me a new one. Because usually they have a pretty decent return policy, but I'm also putting video proof out there of me doing this to the knife, so I don't know. So what I have today is we have paracord to cut, we have a stick to baton through, even though I am 100% against batoning knives to split wood for a fire. I think it's silly, but this is something that everyone does in their test videos, and it's like they want to wreck everything, right? We have a piece of cardboard or two to cut through. We have some wood to hack at here. I actually just went for a walk this morning and found this whole thing was one stick, and I kind of cut them to pieces, and I really kind of like this. This is kind of a nice piece of hardwood right here. I kind of like it. But I'm a guy, and if you find a good stick, perfect stick, perfect rock, which one would you pick, right? And then we have some just regular old printer paper that we can cut through to test sharpness. So these things are kind of more sharpness tests, right? The cardboard, the paper, the paracord, and then the wood is more hacking at something and using the knife, right? And so we're gonna go before we hack at a bunch of stuff, and we're gonna cut some paper. And we're just going to look at how sharp it is. Now, even having used it this week, it's not like I really went after it and used it a whole lot. Pocket knives in my employ do get hard use sometimes, but also, not that hard to use, right? Now, it's pretty sharp, but it's not a perfect edge, but it's pretty sharp. And we'll take some off this cardboard here and just take a look. Right through the cardboard, got to the tape. Pretty sharp. We're going to take a look at our paracord. This is good, thick, heavy-duty paracord. And we'll take a look at him real quick here. And we're just going right through, right? So maybe we double it up a little bit here. Let's see how that works out. We'll double it up. Right through two. Okay, so it's not like it's dull or I've dulled it over the course of a week, and it's still good and sharp. And so we're going to sit here and we're going to work our way through some testing. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. So this wood I went and got this morning. I found it in an empty lot. And thought that it would be good for this. I'm just kind of wandering around looking for stuff, and I was kind of thinking about taking down a sapling with that wire saw earlier that we were looking at with the survival kit there. Let's see if we can get a point on there. There we go. And we have a phony tent stake. I don't know. But it seemed to have taken a bunch of wood off there just fine. And then we have What I want to do is maybe take some of the bark off this guy so that the actual wood doesn't rot. Maybe he'd make a cool handle, or maybe like a fish club would be kind of neat. But you know, who knows? It has a really interesting color under the bark, right? And I know that's like the pith. That's not really, I haven't got down to the wood yet. But just under that first layer of bark, when you get to the pith, it's got a really cool color to it. And then when you get underneath that, you get down to the white meat, right? Like that. So I mean, it's you know, it's a good knife so far. Even hacking at it, we haven't got any wiggle out of it. No wiggle, up and down, back and forth. We're still rock solid and locked up. Let's open and close it. Now, the thing that made it to where I really didn't mind doing this anymore was this damn thing bit me this morning. I went to close it and something happened, and I'm not completely sure because I've been using pocket knives for 30 years. And I closed it on my own thumb. But it drew first blood, so, you know, we kind of gotta get back at it. So, we've done some cardboard. Let's see what we do through paper right now after hacking at some wood. Actually, it almost cut better. It sounds silly, but it almost cut better after we cutting at that wood a little bit. And this is the factory edge. I haven't sharpened this knife. Eventually, maybe we will. It all depends on how things go today, right? Now, when I do use a folding knife to baton, which is insanely rare, I think that it is a bad idea all the way around, and I don't like ruining things that I spend money on. But people baton their way through wood using their knives, and they consider it a test of things like the lock and the hinge and how this all plays out. When I do this, I don't hold my knife by the handle like this and baton my way through. I sort of put it at a 90, and the reason being is that it does less damage to the knife itself, is my understanding of this. So I am hoping that I don't mess this up too much. And then just immediately lock the blade, huh? Now, I've set this up. We're sticking on the thumb stud right there. I've set this up in a way on this to where I'm hoping that I made it hard enough. Now see, this is something where like a Spyderco knife would have a big advantage over something like this, because this has these thumb studs and the Spyderco knife doesn't, generally speaking. I super do not recommend doing this to any knife. I think it's stupid. But I'm also putting a year's worth of use into this knife in a review, right? That is just a tough-ass piece of wood, huh? And you don't want to hit the hinge. You don't want to break your stuff. I don't want to break it. Mainly because it's pretty nice, right? I don't want to break it. But on the other end of it, can you tell that I don't generally baton my wood here? Let's take a look at how far we are through. Okay. I'm wondering if maybe having the clamp to hold it up down here, which you wouldn't have in the woods anyway, is what's been giving me a hard time, but I don't think that's it. I do not recommend doing this to any knife. I think it's silly. And I guess with a giant fixed blade knife. So here, our baton piece of wood. Now let's see how this turned out. So we have our knife. And this is our Gordon knife. It still opens. Zero wiggle. No wiggle on the lockup either. Look at that. Huh. I'm blown away. I am super blown away right now. I am very surprised. Look at, okay, look. So, no van damage really. Opened just as easily as ever. Look, watch, I'm gonna hold this just like this. No wiggle. No wiggle back and forth. Now. No wiggle. No wiggle up and down. After beating it like an idiot through this piece of hardwood right here, and this thing is hard, dry, seasoned wood. This is tough junk. Just junk wood that came out of, look at the grain on it. Look at that. This is stuff that came out of the field next door. I just found it and decided that it would work fine for this video. Okay, so now let's go into testing it after we beat the crap out of it. Edge retention. Look at that bad boy go. Paper test. Okay, I did not trade the knife out for a second knife. I don't have a second one. Am I insane? Or was this actually way better after I beat it to death? I'm not crazy, right? I'm not crazy. It's better. It's actually working better after I did all that to it. Am I nuts? I mean, okay, man. Gordon puts a lifetime guarantee on a lot of their stuff, and if they didn't put one on this knife, they're a little crazy. Because, also, look, here's the side that I beat up. Do you see any marks from taking a piece of hardwood and driving this knife through another piece of hardwood? Because I don't see any. And it doesn't, there's literally, there's no damage. I am really blown away. I am gonna have to give this a much better score for $10. I'm super blown away. Edge retention, amazing. Toughness, amazing. The build and quality is amazing. This is a terrible spot to do it. I don't have the old front porch where we used to do it because we moved 3,400 miles. Quality of build, amazing. Handle, amazing. The knife held its edge in a great way. I beat it pretty damn hard to get it through that thing, to baton it through that stick, and it held up. The hinge isn't broken. It doesn't have any wiggle, and I'm going a lot harder at it now that I did that. I feel so much more confident in this knife now. You have no idea. For $10, this bad boy is really tough to beat. In fact, I would say take that Walmart Benchmade Bug Out clone and beat that bad boy through a piece of hardwood that you pick up out of the empty lot next door, and see how he turns out, because I don't think he's going to do as well. We're going to find one of those knives. They're nowhere. I don't even know if they make them on the site anymore. But this knife, for $10, 5 out of 5. Absolutely a 5 out of 5. Unbeatable for $10. The Gordon 2.9-inch folding pocket knife for $10 is a 5 out of 5 on the Just a Basic Dude vlog channel, and I do not give 5 lightly. The highest is 4.5 usually, but you saw what I did to this knife, and it absolutely held up all the way through. I'm not shilling for a company. Gordon doesn't give me any money. Harbor Freight doesn't give me any money. Nobody gives me any money. I work for a living. But this, for $10, 5 out of 5, Just a Basic Dude vlog, numero uno, very nice. Just killer. Now, I am Z-Town Train. This is just a Basic Dude vlog, and I'm out of here. I hope you guys have an awesome day. I really love making this video for you. And guess what's coming next? That Walmart spring assisted knife. I wonder if it's going to do as well. I have no idea. I'm out of here. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.